The Book of Genesis Part 58. The Book of Genesis Part 58. James Gunn. The Discipline of Life Chapter 29:31-31:3. In a cursory reading of these chapters one sees the matching of wits by two clever and subtle men, Jacob and Laban. Unfortunately, it is the crafty dealing of a believer with an unbeliever. A more careful perusal of the passages reveals behind all, the hand of God. The Lord uses the circumstances of life as the means by which He trains His children. Behind every experience God moves, exerting His influence in every aspect of life. Without much difficulty we can see the Lord patiently working for Jacob in his domestic, industrial, and religious life. His domestic life. Polygamy, although tolerated by the Hebrews, was not by divine ordination. Consequently, as might be expected, it brought its own sorrows. Leah felt keenly the neglect by her husband. She was less loved than Rachel, 29:30. Notwithstanding, there appears a measure of pride in her attitude over her ability to bear children to Jacob. It is true that she gave her first 4 sons names which intimated she attributed her success to God, but, eventually, she forgot the Lord in this, and apparently considered the events of the births of 2 more sons and daughters as merely personal experiences. Rachel resented her own barrenness, felt frustrated, and envied her sister. The 2 wives were in open conflict and bartered the one with the other over their husband. Moreover, they vied with each other. Each wife craved for what she did not have, Leah for her husband's love, Rachel for children, and in the struggle committed their own personal maid to the accomplishment of selfish purposes. Many wives, in those far-away days, received slave girls before their marriage, and these they took with them into the home of their husbands. These slaves could not become the concubines of the husbands without their mistress's permission, which was seldom given. It is no surprise that such constant irritation and strife exerted a baneful influence upon the entire household, and very especially upon the children's dispositions. From what later is recorded, we see that the absence in the home of love, peace, and honesty produced a sad harvest in their adult years. Poor Jacob seemed to be the victim of this domestic tragedy rather than its source. What an unveiling of the true nature of the Lord is manifest in all these details. He was indeed Jehovah, the covenant-keeping God. He manifested His compassion and pity for the despised and neglected. He revealed His power over procreation. He displayed His sovereignty in the fulfillment of His messianic intentions. He demonstrated His fatherly interest toward His carnally minded child, and His ability to train and develop his spiritual character.